The elevator doors open, and I step into the lobby of the Paramount Hotel Seattle, like a woman walking into her future. The white crop top clings to my skin, the one Tyler bought me 3 days ago with that smile he always gave when he was proud of me. The one that says bride, in elegant gold lettering across my chest. I'm getting married in 2 hours. My heart should be racing with excitement. Instead, it's just racing. The afternoon sun streams through the floor-to-ceiling windows, hitting the marble floors until everything looks like it's made of light. I've waited for this day since Tyler proposed 2 years ago. A small ceremony. Just us. No drama. No family chaos. Just me and the man I've loved since I was 24 years old. I walk toward the front desk, my phone already out to text Tyler that I'm here early. The two receptionists look up at the same time, and something shifts in their faces. The one with the red lipstick. I notice it first because it's so sharp, so perfectly applied. Her eyes widen. Slightly. Then narrow. Like she's trying to solve a puzzle. Hi, I say, walking up to the marble counter. I have a reservation. Amira Okonkwo. They don't say congratulations. They don't smile. The red-lipped receptionist leans toward the other one. Their eyes still on me. A look passes between them. The kind of look that makes my stomach drop before my brain can even catch up to what it means. You already checked in, the red-lipped receptionist says. Her tone isn't mean exactly. It's more like, sorry. Like she's about to tell me something I'm not going to want to hear. My laugh comes out nervous. No, I just got here. This is my first time at the hotel today. 2 hours ago, she says, and now the other receptionist is nodding. You checked in with a man. A really attractive man, actually. I remember because I complimented your top. My eyes drop to my chest. The bride top. The one only Tyler and I know about. The one that's supposed to be private, special, ours. That must be my fiancé. I say, but my voice sounds small now. Uncertain. He must have come early to set up. The receptionists exchange that look again. That pity look. And something in me. The part that's always been too aware, too observant, too good at reading the spaces between words, starts screaming. That's probably it, the red-lipped receptionist says quietly. The room is 2847. Here's your key. I take it with shaking hands. The elevator ride up feels like it takes forever and no time at all. My stomach is doing something weird, flipping, twisting, preparing me for something my conscious mind hasn't accepted yet. 28 floors. Each one taking me higher, taking me closer to something I can feel but not name. The elevator doors open on the 28th floor. The hallway is quiet. Too quiet. I walk toward room 2847, my key card already in my hand. The carpet muffles my footsteps. Everything feels muffled, like I'm moving through water. I swipe the key card. The door opens, and the world ends in a single moment. Tyler is lying on the bed, his body moving with a rhythm that stops the second I enter. But not because he sees me. Not because something about the air changed. He stops because of the sound, a bag hitting the floor. My bag. My hands have let it go. But it's not Tyler alone on the bed. It's Zara. My twin sister is straddling him, her naked body gleaming under the soft hotel lighting. Her face is flushed. Her eyes are half closed in that expression I haven't seen since we were kids, that expression of pure satisfaction, of victory. For a full minute, I can't move, can't breathe, can't process what my eyes are telling me. This can't be real. Zara is supposed to be gone. Zara disappeared 2 years ago without a word. No phone call. No text. No explanation. She just vanished from my life like she was never there. And I've spent 2 years convincing myself that maybe it was better this way. That maybe some relationships are meant to break. But she's here. She's here and she's... Amira? Tyler's voice breaks through. He's pulling away from her, scrambling off the bed like he's been burned. His body is exposed. His face is confused and then something worse, something darker, something guilty. Zara doesn't move. She turns to look at me. And that's when I see it. That smile. That smile that says she knew I was coming. That smile that says this was always the plan. Oh my God, Tyler is saying. Amira, I thought. I thought you were. You thought she was me, Zara finishes, her voice smooth as honey and twice as poisonous. She sits up slowly, making no move to cover herself. Come on, Tyler. Let's not insult her intelligence. My mouth opens. No sound comes out. What? Tyler looks between us, and I watch confusion melt into something that looks like shame. No, I didn't. It's time we cut the act, Zara says, and she says it to him like I'm not even in the room. Like I'm invisible. Don't you think? It's getting too pathetic. Tyler's face goes pale. He looks at me, and I can see it written all over his expression. This isn't a mistake. This isn't some horrible accident. This is planned. Zara stands up, completely naked, completely unbothered. She walks toward me like she's walking a runway. My sister, my twin, my blood, my other half. She reaches down and grabs Tyler's penis, which is somehow still hard, and she strokes it slowly while maintaining eye contact with me. With me. You still don't get it? She laughs. It's sharp. Cruel. It's a laugh that sounds like breaking glass. You were just a piece on the board, Ami. Long time no see, by the way. Why? My voice comes out broken. Barely a whisper. Why would you do this to me? She leans in close, and I can see the darkness in her eyes. The real darkness. Not the pain of someone running from something. The satisfaction of someone who's finally found her power. Because watching you break, she says, each word landing like a punch, is the only thing that makes me feel whole. Tyler is saying something. Something about not knowing. Something about thinking she was someone else. But his words don't matter because Zara's voice is still in my ears, and her words are echoing through every part of me. I was just a piece on the board. My legs give out, and I find myself on my knees on the cold hotel floor. The white crop top with bride written across it is suddenly suffocating. My whole body is shaking. Not from anger. Not yet. Right now, I'm just shaking from the impact of it all. Everything I thought was real is a lie. My fiancé. My sister. My entire future. All of it, a game. A performance. A slow, calculated betrayal that took 2 years to execute. Zara watches me cry with something that looks like satisfaction. And that's what breaks me most. Not the betrayal itself, but the fact that my pain is feeding her. You can stay and watch if you want, Zara says, moving back toward Tyler like I'm not worth her attention anymore. We're just getting started. I don't remember leaving the room. I don't remember the elevator ride down. I don't remember walking out into the Seattle afternoon with nothing but the clothes on my back. All I know is that my entire world just got torched by the 2 people I should have been able to trust most. And something in me, something dark and furious and desperate, is waking up. Wait, did you feel that? Asterisk asterisk. That moment when everything you trusted got ripped away? That's not just Amira's pain. That could be you. We trust people. We love people. We build our entire futures around people. And sometimes, without warning, they show us who they really are. The question isn't why Zara did this. Asterisk asterisk, the real question is, what is Amira going to do about it? Because someone walked into that hotel room as a bride. Someone very different is about to walk into a bar. And her entire life is about to change. Asterisk asterisk. You need to see what happens next. You need to see how far someone will go when they've got nothing left to lose. Subscribe now so you don't miss the moment when Amira meets someone who understands darkness better than anyone should. Asterisk asterisk. This is only the beginning. The real storm is coming. The first shot goes down smooth. Too smooth. Like it's trying to be kind to me. I'm not kind to myself in return. I order another. The club is alive around me. Bodies moving, music pulsing, lights flickering in colors that match exactly what my insides feel like. Chaotic. Broken. Beautiful in the way that destruction can be beautiful. I don't know how long I've been here. 3 hours? 5? Time doesn't work the same when you're trying to disappear into yourself. The bartender. His name is Kofi, and he has kind eyes that don't match the darkness of this place. He keeps sliding shots in front of me. At first, without hesitation. Now with a heaviness in his movements that tells me he's reading the situation. That he knows something bad happened to me. I don't care if he knows. Let everyone know. Let the whole world know that I'm the kind of woman a man doesn't want. Let them know that my own twin sister found me so pathetic that she spent 2 years planning how to break me. Another, I say, pushing the empty glass toward him. Kofi looks at me for a long moment. He's got this expression, the expression of someone who's seen too much heartbreak in his lifetime. Someone who works in a place like this long enough learns to recognize when someone's drowning. I'm drowning. But the thing about drowning is that you don't always want to be saved. Sometimes you just want someone to watch, to acknowledge that you're going down, to understand that some pain is so big it needs witnesses. Kofi pours the shot anyway. His wordless mercy. I bring it to my lips and close my eyes as it burns down my throat. It's the kind of burn that feels like punishment. It feels deserved. My mind keeps replaying the scene in that hotel room like a video on loop. Zara's face. That smile that said I won without her having to say a single word. Tyler's body moving. The way my life just ended. Not with a dramatic finale, but with the quiet realization that everyone I trusted was a lie. How long had they been together? Days. Weeks. Months. Did they laugh about me? Did Zara tell him about my adoption, my insecurities, my need to be perfect? Did she hand him the keys to destroy me and then they high-fived while I was arranging flowers? The questions are poison, and I'm drinking them like they're saving me. I take another shot. Then another. That's when everything changes. It's not loud. It's not dramatic. It's just a feeling, that prickling on the back of your neck. The sensation that someone is watching you. Not in a casual way. In the way a predator watches prey. I don't turn around at first. I just feel it. The weight of attention like a physical thing pressing against my shoulders, my back, my exposed skin in this white crop top that now feels less like a wedding dress and more like a scarlet letter. But I can't ignore it for long. The sensation is too heavy, too deliberate. So I turn. The club is packed with bodies and lights and movement, but there's one place my eyes go immediately. The VIP balcony. The place where the most important people, or the most dangerous people, sit above everyone else. And there, leaning against the railing like he owns the entire building, is a shadow. Not a person yet. Just a shadow with details. A watch catches the light. Black diamonds, I think, reflecting the strobing lights like tiny captured stars. The hand holding that watch is large, powerful, attached to an arm covered in a tattoo that disappears. Under the sleeve of a suit that probably costs more than my car. But I can't see his face. He's too far away. He's too much in the darkness. And yet I can feel his eyes. I can feel them the way you can feel the sun on your skin. That's him. Kofi's voice makes me jump. I didn't realize he'd moved closer. That's who? I ask, but I already know. Something in my body already knows. The one staring at you like you're the only person in this club, Kofi says. His voice is lower now. More careful. That's K. Sungmin Park. The name hits me like a physical blow. I know that name. Tyler said it once. Or maybe twice. It was always in that tone people use when they're talking about someone dangerous. Someone powerful. Someone who doesn't follow the same rules as everyone else. He's a billionaire, Kofi continues, and I can hear something like awe mixed with warning in his voice. Owns half of Seattle, including this place. Cold as ice. Doesn't get close to anyone. Doesn't let anyone get close to him. I turn back to look at the figure on the balcony. As if he can feel my attention. The shadow shifts. Not a full movement. Just a tilt of the head. Just enough to let me know that yes, he's watching me. And yes, he knows I know. My heart is doing something crazy in my chest. Something that shouldn't be happening right now. I should be numb. I should be empty. I should be done with men, with wanting, with all of it. Instead, I feel something waking up inside me. Something dark and hungry. Rumor is he can't feel anything, Kofi says quietly. Like literally. Can't feel touch. Can't feel pain. Can't feel love. Just empty inside. A broken billionaire. A man who can't feel. Staring at me. A woman who feels too much. There's something poetic about that. Something that makes sense in a way the rest of my life doesn't right now. Another shot. I tell Kofi, not looking away from the shadow on the balcony. Kofi hesitates. Actually hesitates. I don't think. Another shot, Kofi. He looks like he's going to argue, but then something shifts in his expression. Fear maybe. Or recognition that some people are beyond saving. He reaches for the bottle, but stops. He just signaled me, Kofi whispers. I turn back to look at him. What? Mr. Park, Kofi says, his eyes fixed on something I can't see. He just told me to stop serving you. I let out a laugh that sounds bitter even to my own ears. He owns this place? Owns this place. Owns 3 others like it. Owns more of this city than the mayor, Kofi says. And he's coming down. My stomach flips. Not in fear. In something else. Something I don't have a name for yet. Before I can respond, a man appears at my side. Not gradually. He just appears, like he materialized from the shadows themselves. He's wearing all black, a suit that costs more than my entire life savings. His face is blank. His eyes are dead. Security, I realize. Or maybe just someone who works for a dead man. Mr. Park would like a word, he says. His voice is quiet, but the words carry the weight of a command. I could say no. I could walk out of this club right now and never look back. I could go home to Zainab and cry into her shoulder and begin the long, painful process of healing. But instead, I stand up. The world tips a little because of all the shots, but I steady myself. Where? I ask. The man in black turns toward the stairs without answering. He expects me to follow. And I do. We climb up through the club, past the dancing crowds, past the beautiful people pretending their lives are worth living, past everything that's normal and safe and survivable. We reach a door at the end of a hallway. The letters are gold, elegant, final. VIP lounge. The man in black opens the door and gestures for me to enter. My heart is pounding so hard I can feel it in my throat. I step inside. Stop. Feel that. That moment when you know you're about to meet something dangerous? That's not just Amira. That's all of us at some point. We all reach that moment where we're broken enough, angry enough, desperate enough to walk toward the thing that could destroy us. We all meet someone who sees that darkness in us and reflects it back. The question isn't whether Amira should walk into that room. She already is. The question is, what happens when 2 people who feel everything wrong meet someone who feels nothing at all? One of them is about to change. One of them is about to feel something for the first time in years. And one of them is about to learn that the most dangerous person in the room might be herself. Amira walked into a hotel room as a bride today. She's about to walk into another room as something completely different. You need to see this moment. You need to witness what happens when desperation meets power. When numbness meets fire. Subscribe and turn on notifications. Because the next moment will change everything. For her, for him, and for you. Some moments are so dangerous, so electric, so life-changing that you need to see them unfold in real time. This is one of those moments. The door closes behind me, and the cold hits first. It's not a normal cold. It's the kind of cold that makes you aware of every inch of your skin. The kind that makes you realize you're alive when you've been trying not to feel for hours. My eyes adjust to the dimness. And that's when I see him. K. Sungmin Park isn't just sitting in the corner of the VIP lounge like some rumor, or some name Tyler whispered with fear in his voice. He's owning it. Every molecule of air bends around him like he's the center of the universe, and everything else is just orbiting to his gravity. And between his thighs is a woman on her knees. She's beautiful in that practiced way. Hair perfect, makeup perfect, the kind of woman who's probably performed this exact act 100 times before. She's working his cock with the focus of someone who knows exactly what she's doing. Her head moves in a rhythm that suggests experience. Skill. The kind of thing that comes from repetition. But Kay isn't looking at her. He's looking at me. His hand is fisted in her hair. Not rough, but present. In control. But his dark eyes? Those eyes are locked on my face like I'm the only person in the room. Like I'm the only person in the entire world. I should feel disgusted. I should turn around and walk right back out that door. I should call Zainab and tell her what I just saw and never speak of this night again. Instead, heat pools between my thighs. It's shameful. It's wrong. It's exactly the kind of thing a broken person does when they meet someone even more broken than they are. But I'm frozen. Completely frozen. His eyes don't blink. They don't waver. They just stay on me, watching me watch him, watching me realize that he's been waiting for me. That this was the plan all along. The woman's head bobs faster, and I watch his jaw clench. But still his eyes don't move. Then, without any warning, without any hesitation, he speaks. Leave. The word is quiet. So quiet that I almost don't hear it. But the woman hears it. Of course she does. She scrambles to her feet like she's been burned, adjusting her dress as she moves past me. Doesn't look at me. She doesn't say anything. She just disappears like she was never real. Maybe she wasn't. Maybe I imagined her. Kay stands slowly, tucking himself back into his black pants with a deliberate calmness that somehow makes the moment more intimate than anything I just watched. As he moves, the dim light catches something on his cock, a glimmer of metal. Piercings, I realize. Silver piercings through the head of his cock. The image burns itself into my brain. He buttons his pants like he has all the time in the world. Like I'm not standing 3 feet away from him, trembling. Like my entire nervous system isn't screaming at me. Then he starts walking toward me. I should back away. My body knows this. Everything in me is telling me to move, to run, to get out of this room and back to the safety of the drunk haze I was in downstairs. But I don't. Instead, I step backward with each step he takes forward. It's like we're dancing. Like this is choreographed. With each step, my back moves closer to the wall. With each of his steps, he moves closer to me. Until finally, my back hits cold brick, and there's nowhere left to go. He's standing in front of me now. Close enough that I can smell him. Expensive. Cologne that costs more than rent. And underneath that, just skin. Just him. I thought I'd need a little more studying to confirm who you were, he says, and his voice is like gravel dipped in honey. Like something that could hurt you or save you depending on which side of it you end up on. But it appears I have everything I need. He smirks. It's not a nice smirk. It's a predator's smirk. Hello, Amira Okonkwo Kim. The way he says my name, my real name, not the Russell I've been using to try to fit into spaces I don't belong, makes something shift inside me. He knows who I am. Not the version of me that everyone else knows. Not the perfect, accomplished, invisible version. He knows my birth heritage. He knows my family name. He knows the part of me I keep hidden. Do I know you? I ask. My voice comes out smaller than I want it to. Not yet, he replies. His eyes sweep down my body slowly, deliberately, taking their time. They linger on my chest. On the word bride, written in gold across my breasts. But you're about to. My stomach clenches. How do you know my name? I demand, trying to sound strong. Trying to sound like I have any power in this situation. I make it a point to know what interests me, he says simply, like it's the easiest thing in the world. Like he hasn't just admitted to investigating me. And Amira, you've been interesting me since I watched you walk into this club like you were trying to drink yourself into invisibility. He steps closer. Not enough to touch me, but close enough that I can feel the heat coming off his body. You're shivering, he observes. I'm not shivering from cold. He knows this. I know this. But he pulls off his suit jacket anyway, and holds it out to me. I don't want to take it. Taking it means accepting something. It means admitting that I need it. That I need him. But my body doesn't listen to my brain anymore. My body is making decisions without my permission. I take the jacket and pull it on. It swallows me whole. The sleeves are too long. It smells like him, expensive and dark and masculine in a way that makes me dizzy. I'm wrapped in the smell of money and power, and something else I can't name. And that's when I feel it. That's when something shifts in his face. His jaw clenches so hard I can see the muscle working. His breath hitches. Just slightly. Just enough that I notice because I'm watching him the way prey watches a predator that's about to strike. For a moment, just a moment, his expression cracks. And what I see underneath that crack is raw. Unguarded. Like he's just felt something he hasn't felt in years. Like he's just realized he's human. You were right, he says, and his voice is different now. Hoarse. Like he's been holding on to something, and just let it go. When you said I want to ruin you. My breath catches in my throat. I do, he continues, and he raises his hand to my face. His fingers brush my cheek, and it's like electricity. Like every nerve in my body just woke up. I want to ruin you so completely that the only way you'll ever feel whole again is with me. He leans in closer, and I can smell his breath. Urban. Control. Darkness. The question is, he whispers, are you brave enough to let me? Stop. Let that hit you. That moment. That exact moment when he touched your face, and you felt alive for the first time all day. That's not just a touch. That's a wake-up call. That's your body telling you something your brain is trying to deny. Sometimes the person who can save you is also the person who can destroy you. And sometimes when you're broken enough, those are the only options left. Amira walked into that room as a victim. She's about to walk out of it as something else entirely. The real question isn't what he wants from her. The real question is, what is she willing to become to feel powerful again? Because right now, for the first time since that hotel room, she feels something other than pain. She feels wanted. She feels dangerous. She feels like maybe, just maybe, she's finally meeting someone who understands darkness the way she's starting to. But here's what you need to understand. When you're at your lowest, when you're broken and angry and desperate, the most seductive thing in the world isn't love. It's recognition. It's someone seeing you and saying, I know what you are. And I want you anyway. You need to see what happens next. You need to witness what Amira chooses when she's standing between safety and destruction. Subscribe now, because the next moment will define everything. Some people come into our lives and change us forever. Some people see us at our worst and instead of saving us, they match our energy. They become our mirror. And sometimes, that mirror is the most dangerous thing we'll ever look into. Amira is about to find out which one K is. And you can't miss it. His mouth is inches from mine. And I can feel the heat radiating off his body. I can smell the bourbon on his breath mixed with something that's just him. Something that's making my thoughts scatter like birds. Are you brave enough to let me? He whispers. And my body answers before my mind can catch up. Heat. Fire. Wetness between my thighs that I'm ashamed of and also completely aware of. I can feel it. I can feel the way my legs are trembling slightly. The way my breathing has changed. The way every nerve ending in my body is standing at attention like a soldier being called to war. He's still so close. One small movement, and his lips would be on mine. One small moment, and everything would change. But then he pulls away. He steps back from me with a deliberateness that feels like rejection and relief all at once. I'm left standing against the wall, gasping slightly, my body confused and angry at the loss of his proximity. Kay walks across the room to a crystal decanter filled with amber liquid. His movements are slow, controlled. Like he's using every ounce of his concentration just to pour the bourbon without his hands shaking. I watch as he brings the glass to his lips and drinks. He doesn't look at me. He just drinks, and I can see the tension in his jaw. The way his neck muscles work as he swallows. The way his entire body looks like it's about to snap. You walk out that door, he says quietly, still not looking at me. And you'd have ruined the best chance you have at getting back at your unpleasant fiancé. Something inside me goes cold despite the heat still pooling between my legs. Ex-fiancé. I say automatically. The word tastes bitter in my mouth. And your sister? He continues, finally turning to face me. His dark eyes lock onto mine. Is she your ex-sister now? My head whips around. How do you know about Zara? I know everything about my employees, he says smoothly. But his tone, there's something underneath it that tells me this knowledge goes deeper. That he hasn't just read a file about Tyler. That he's been watching. That he's been studying. That he's been waiting. You've been investigating me, I say. It's not a question. Thoroughly, he admits without shame. I don't get interested in people casually, Amira. When something catches my attention, I know everything. Where you live. Where you work. What you had for lunch on Tuesday. The name of your best friend. Your mother's phone number. Your birth name before the adoption papers changed it. The violation of it should terrify me. Should make me run. Should make me call the police or Zainab or literally anyone who could help. Instead, it turns me on. Because someone is finally paying attention. Not as charity. Not as obligation. But because he wants to know me. I find myself moving toward him. Not away. Toward. What is this? I demand, emboldened by alcohol and something else, something darker. You staring at me like I'm a prize? That creepy security detail appearing out of nowhere? Calling me by my full name like you know me. I'm close to him now, and I can feel the heat radiating from his body. My chest is heaving with adrenaline and arousal and rage all mixed together into something I don't have a name for. And what do you mean by getting back at Tyler? I continue, my voice shaking slightly. I don't need saving. I don't need your help. I don't need. You looked like you were drowning, Kay interrupts, and his voice is so quiet I have to lean in to hear him. Down there at the bar, ordering shot after shot, trying to disappear into yourself. And I don't like watching people drown. His hand reaches for my face. His fingers are warm. His touch is gentle in a way his eyes aren't. He pushes a strand of my hair behind my ear, and the sensation of his fingertips against my skin sends electricity through my entire nervous system. I don't feel Amira, he says quietly. I can't feel anyone's touch. Most people, I'm completely numb to. But you, he pauses and I watch his jaw work. I felt you the moment you walked into this room. He leans in until his mouth is almost touching mine. I can give you what you want, he says. All of it. Revenge. Power. A new name. One they can't touch. One they'll choke on once they realize who you belong to. My breath catches. What are you saying? I ask, even though I think I know. His dark eyes search mine for a moment. And then slowly, deliberately, he says the words that will change everything. Marry me. I blink. Once. Twice. Like maybe I didn't hear him right. Like maybe the alcohol and the adrenaline and the arousal are making me hallucinate. You're joking, I say. No, he replies simply. I step back, my mind spinning. This is insane. This is completely, absolutely insane. You don't know me, I say. We don't even like each other. This is crazy. I don't need to like you, he says, and his jaw is ticking now. Clenching and unclenching like he's holding on to his control by a thread. I just need to have you. I'm struggling to breathe. This conversation should be ending with me leaving. With me calling this entire thing off. With me going back to Zainab and pretending this night never happened. Instead, my voice comes out as a whisper. Kay. I can make them pay, he interrupts, his voice dropping so low it's almost a growl. All of them. Tyler. Zara. Anyone who's ever made you feel small. Anyone who's ever made you feel like you weren't enough. I can make them understand the mistake they made in underestimating you. And in return? I ask. My voice sounds like it belongs to someone else. Someone braver. Someone more broken. Someone more willing to make deals with devils. You'll be mine, he says. The word mine doesn't sound like love. It sounds like ownership. Like possession. Like he's claiming me the way you claim territory. You'll wear my name. You'll be under my protection. And they'll realize they have no power over you anymore, because you belong to someone with actual power. I should say no. Every rational part of me is screaming to say no. But the part of me that's been drowning, the part of me that felt invisible, the part of me that watched my fiancé and sister betray me and realized that I had no power in any of those spaces, that part of me is saying yes. I find myself moving toward him without consciously deciding to. My hand raises to his chest, and I can feel his heartbeat thundering under my palm. I trace the buttons of his black shirt slowly, deliberately. My fingers are trembling. I have one condition, I say quietly. He waits. His entire body has gone rigid under my touch, like he's afraid that if he moves I'll disappear. I want you to take my virginity, I whisper. The words hang in the air between us. That moment. Right there. That moment when you realize you're about to say yes to something that will destroy you? That's not weakness. That's not desperation. That's a person so broken that they're willing to become someone entirely different just to feel powerful again. Amira didn't ask for love. She asked for power. She asked for someone to finally see her. She asked for revenge disguised as romance. And here's what people don't tell you about betrayal. Sometimes the most dangerous response isn't anger. It's desperation dressed up as choice. He said he'd make them pay. He said she'd belong to him. He said she'd finally matter. And instead of running, she asked him to take her virginity. That's not a love story. That's a survival story. It's the story of a woman so desperate to feel powerful that she'd trade her body, her freedom, and maybe even her soul to someone who promised to help her hurt the people who hurt her. But here's what you need to know. When you make deals in the dark with people who don't feel, there's always a price. And Amira just agreed to pay it without knowing what the cost actually is. Subscribe now. Because what happens next will test everything you believe about love, power, and how far someone will go to stop hurting. The proposal has been made. The deal is on the table. Now comes the part where we find out what Amira is actually willing to do. The words hang between us like they're alive. Like they're a living, breathing thing with weight and consequence. I want you to take my virginity. I've never said anything like that to anyone. I've never made my body a statement. I've never offered myself as a prize or a punishment or a choice. But right now, in this moment, with my hand on his chest and his heartbeat thundering under my palm, I'm offering him the only thing I have left that feels real. Kay goes completely still. His entire body stops moving, stops breathing, stops existing in any normal way. It's like I've frozen him in place with those words. His nostrils flare. It happens slowly. First the flare of his nostrils, like he's trying to pull in more oxygen. Like he needs more air just to process what I've said. Then his breathing changes. Gets heavier. More deliberate. Like he's trying to control something that's threatening to break free. You're sure? He asks. His voice is barely controlled. It's raw at the edges, like it's been dipped in sandpaper. I nod. Because I am sure. For the first time in my entire life, I'm absolutely certain about something. I want this. I want to feel something other than broken. I want to erase the image of Tyler inside my sister with someone more powerful. Someone more dangerous. Someone who looks at me like I'm not invisible. Someone who looks at me like I matter. I want Kay Sungmin Park. Yes, I whisper. I'm sure. He moves toward me slowly. Like he's approaching a wild animal that might bolt at any second. Like he's afraid that if he moves too fast, I'll disappear. His hand reaches for my jaw. His fingers are warm against my skin. He tilts my face up to his gently, carefully, like I'm something precious despite the darkness in his eyes. After tonight, he says, and his voice carries the weight of a contract, you're mine. You understand that. I do understand. I understand that I'm making a choice that will rewrite my entire life. I understand that I'm agreeing to belong to someone. I understand that there's no going back from this. But I nod anyway. Because for the first time, I'm not being a passive recipient of what happens to me. I'm not waiting for someone else to make the decision. I'm not performing the role everyone else has written for me. I'm choosing this. His mouth comes down on mine, and it's not gentle. It's not soft. It's not the kind of first kiss that girls write about in their diaries. It's consuming. His tongue invades my mouth like he's claiming territory. Like he's marking me as his. I can taste bourbon and something darker. Danger, maybe. The taste of a man who's made deals with himself that he'd never admit to anyone else. I taste it and I want more. My hands move to his chest, pulling his shirt open. Buttons scatter across the marble floor of the VIP lounge, but neither of us care. The only thing that matters is getting closer. Is touching more skin. Is making this real. He pulls back from the kiss and looks at me for a moment. Just looks. Like he's memorizing my face. Like he's trying to understand something he's never understood before. Beautiful, he murmurs. Even broken, you're beautiful. Then he picks me up like I weigh nothing. Like I'm precious cargo that needs to be handled with care despite his aggression. He moves me toward the luxurious couch in the corner of the lounge. The same couch where I watched a woman on her knees just minutes ago. He lays me down gently. And then he removes my bride crop top with deliberate slowness. Each second feels like an eternity. The fabric moves inch by inch up my body. First, my ribs are exposed. Then my stomach. Then my breasts come into view. And I watch his eyes darken as he sees me completely for the first time. My nipples harden in the cold air of the lounge. Or from arousal. Or from the intensity of his gaze. "You're stunning," he says. And it's the most honest thing anyone's ever said to me. His hand traces down my body slowly. Down my ribs. Across my stomach. Lower. Always lower. When his fingers reach between my thighs, he finds me already wet. A dark smile spreads across his face. "You want this," he says. "It's not a question. It's an observation. A fact." I nod, unable to form words. He stands up slowly and removes his clothes with the same methodical precision he used to undress me. His shirt comes off first, revealing the tattoos I caught glimpses of before. They're stunning. Black ink against brown skin. Intricate designs that flow across his chest like art. Then his pants. When I see his cock, I gasp. The piercings are real. Silver bands through the head, catching the dim light of the lounge. It's terrifying and beautiful all at once. It's dangerous in a way that makes my body respond with heat instead of fear. "It's going to hurt," he says, positioning himself between my thighs. His voice is matter of fact. "Your body's never done this before. The stretching, the tension, it's going to hurt. But I'll go slow. And after the pain stops, you'll understand why people become addicted to this." I believe him. He guides himself to my entrance. I can feel the head of his cock pressing against me. And my body tenses automatically. "Breathe," he instructs. "Don't tighten. Just breathe." I try to follow his instructions, but it's hard. Everything in my body wants to clench, to protect, to reject. And then he pushes in. It's not a smooth motion. It's slow, deliberate. Inch by inch he enters me, and I can feel every stretch, every resistance. Every moment my body adjusts to something it's never had to accommodate before. Pain and pleasure mix together into something I don't have a name for. I cry out, not in fear, but in the overwhelming sensation of being filled, of being invaded, of being claimed. "That's it," he whispers. "Take me, all of me." When he's fully inside, he stops, completely still. His eyes search mine, looking for signs of pain or regret or anything that might make him pull out. I don't give him any of those things. Instead, I move my hips slightly, testing the sensation. The pain is still there, but it's fading, becoming something else, becoming pleasure. "Feel that," he whispers, and his voice is different now. Amazed, like he's just witnessed something miraculous. That's me. That's the first thing I've ever felt. And I realize something in that moment. He's not just talking about the physical sensation of being inside me. He's talking about something deeper. He's felt nothing for his entire life. Not touch, not pleasure, not human connection. And this moment with me, this is the first time he's ever felt anything real. That knowledge, more than anything else, makes me want him more. He begins to move. Slowly at first. Like he's learning the rhythm. Like he's afraid of breaking something beautiful. But then he speeds up. His movements become more intense. More urgent. My world narrows to just the sensation of him inside me. The feel of his skin against mine. The sound of his breathing in my ear. The way he whispers things that are half curse, half prayer. "You're mine," he says. "Say it." "I'm yours." Hybrid. Again. "I'm yours." And I am. In this moment in this room, I am completely and utterly his. For the first time in my life, I feel truly seen, truly wanted, truly alive. Not because he loves me, but because he recognizes me. Because he's meeting my darkness with his own darkness, and finding something beautiful in the collision. The pressure builds inside me. Something is coming. Something I've never experienced before. And when it hits, it's like the entire world breaks open. That wasn't love. That was recognition. That moment when you realize someone sees you. Really sees you for the first time? That's more powerful than love. That's more addictive than affection. That's the most dangerous thing that can happen to a broken person. Because Amira didn't just give Kay her virginity. She gave him her vulnerability, her power, her ability to protect herself. And here's what nobody tells you. When you've been invisible your entire life, the moment someone finally sees you, really sees you, you'll do anything to keep being seen. Even if that person is dangerous. Even if that person is using you. Even if that person might destroy you. Amira just traded her body for a moment of being recognized. And Kay, a man who hasn't felt a single thing in decades, just felt something for the first time. But what he felt wasn't love. It was power. It was control. It was the addiction of owning someone completely. The question isn't whether they love each other. The real question is, can two people who are completely broken actually build something real together? Or are they just going to destroy each other in the darkness? Because right now, in this moment, they both feel alive. They both feel seen. They both feel like maybe, just maybe, they've finally found someone who understands them. But tomorrow, when the sun comes up and the alcohol wears off, they're going to realize something terrifying. They've just made a deal with each other that neither of them is equipped to honor. Subscribe now. Because what happens after the pleasure fades will test everything they think they know about each other. The real story isn't about their night together. It's about what comes after. It's about whether they can face the consequences of choices made in darkness. And trust me, those consequences are coming. The sun comes up over Seattle like a judgment. I wake to light pouring through floor-to-ceiling windows, and for a moment, I don't know where I am. My body is sore in places I've never been sore before. My mind is foggy. My body feels like it belongs to someone else. Then I remember. Kay. The VIP lounge. The kiss. The way he looked at me when he said that's the first thing I've ever felt. The pain that turned into something else. The moment I stopped being invisible and started being claimed. I pull myself up slowly, clutching the sheets around me because suddenly, I'm aware of my nakedness in a way I wasn't last night. Last night, my body was brave. This morning it's shy. The penthouse is massive. Stunning. Floor-to-ceiling windows show me the entire city of Seattle spread out below like it's a toy he bought, and occasionally glances at. The furniture is minimalist, black, gray, white. No color. No life. Just money and taste, and the kind of emptiness that comes with having everything but feeling nothing. Kay is at a glass desk near the windows, working on his laptop. He's shirtless, wearing only black pants that hang low on his hips. I can see the tattoos on his back. The same black ink that covers his chest. They're beautiful in a way that makes me uncomfortable because he shouldn't be beautiful. He should be a warning sign. A neon red flag. But he's not. He's just beautiful. He doesn't look up from his work, but he speaks. Good morning, he says. His voice is casual. Like we didn't just upend my entire life last night. Like I didn't just give him something I can't take back. Isai. My voice comes out smaller than I intended. He finally looks up, and his eyes move over my body with possession written all over them. Like he's checking that I'm still his. Like he's confirming that last night was real. How are you feeling? He asks. Sore, I admit. A dark smile pulls at his mouth. Good. That means I did it right. Something in me wants to be offended by that. Something in me wants to tell him that's not actually how you measure whether someone did something right. But another part of me, the part that felt alive for the first time last night, understands exactly what he means. We need to discuss logistics, he says, turning his attention back to his laptop like he's just told me something casual. We'll marry in 2 weeks. Before your family can interfere. I sit up straighter, pulling the sheets higher on my chest. 2 weeks. I ask. That's insane. Is it? He finally looks at me again, and his gaze is dark. Possessive. Like he's already decided this is happening and my opinion is just a formality. You're mine now. The marriage just makes it official. Something in his tone unsettles me. Not because I don't want this. I do, God help me, I do. But because the way he says it doesn't sound like love. It sounds like ownership. It sounds like I've become a possession to be cataloged and maintained. But I push the feeling aside. I'm getting good at pushing feelings aside. What about your family? I ask instead. Your parents? Won't they have something to say about this? His expression hardens. I watch it happen. The way his jaw clenches, the way his eyes go darker. They'll accept it, he says simply. They don't have a choice. There's finality in that statement. There's no room for negotiation or discussion. His family will accept me because he says they will. And I realize in that moment that I'm not just marrying Kay, I'm marrying his power. I'm marrying his ability to make the world bend to his will. The question is, am I strong enough to survive being bent by that will? The next 2 weeks are a blur. Kay moves through his world like he owns it, because he does. He introduces me to places I didn't know existed. Restaurants where they serve food I can't pronounce. Clubs that don't advertise. Offices where people jump the moment he walks in. And then he introduces me to Marcus Washington. Marcus is tall, black, beautiful in the way that comes from actual kindness instead of just genetics. He's Kay's business partner, and he's the first person I've met who looks at Kay with something other than fear or awe. He looks at Kay with worry. When Kay steps away to take a call, Marcus pulls me aside. We're in one of his clubs, different from the one where we met, but equally dark, equally expensive. What are you doing? He asks, and his voice is serious in a way that makes my stomach drop. What do you mean? I ask, though I know exactly what he means. Kay, he says. I've known him since college. He's a good man, one of the best I know. But he's not whole. Something broke in him a long time ago, and no amount of money or success has fixed it. He's going to hurt you. Maybe not on purpose. But he's going to hurt you. I look over at Kay, who's pacing near the bar, talking on his phone with intense focus. He looks dangerous. He looks beautiful. He looks like someone who's already hurt me and I keep coming back for more. Maybe I need to be hurt to feel alive, I tell Marcus. And I mean it. He studies me for a long moment, and I see something like pity flash across his face. That's the saddest thing I've ever heard, he says quietly. But I don't have time to sit with Marcus's concern, because I have to call my mother. Dr. Keisha answers on the second ring, and I can hear the exhaustion in her voice. She's always been exhausted, raising 2 daughters alone while building a career, trying to honor Nigerian culture, while navigating American expectations. She's been tired since I was born. Mom, Isai. Amira, baby, how are you? Her voice changes. It becomes softer, less tired. I'm okay, I say. And then, I'm engaged. The silence on the line is deafening. What? She finally says. To who? What happened to Tyler? And so I tell her. I tell her about the hotel. About Zara. About the bar. About Kay. I don't tell her everything. I don't tell her about the VIP lounge or the woman on her knees, or the way he touched me like he was claiming territory. But I tell her enough. And my mother responds exactly the way I knew she would. Do you know anything about this man? She demands. This is insane, Amira. You're running. You're rebounding. You're not thinking clearly. I am thinking clearly, I say. For the first time in my life, I'm thinking clearly. No, you're not, she says. You're hurt. You're angry. And you're making decisions that you're going to regret. But I don't listen. Because listening would mean admitting that Marcus was right. That my mother is right. That I'm trading one prison for another. And I'm not ready to admit that. I've made my decision. I tell her. I'm choosing this. I'm choosing him. You're choosing power over safety, Dr. Keisha says. And that's going to cost you more than you understand. And then I ask the question I've been avoiding. Mom, have you heard from Zara? The silence that follows is heavier than the first one. No, Dr. Keisha finally says. You're sure? I'm sure, she says. But there's something in her voice that tells me there's more. Mom, I say. Where is she? What do you know? Dr. Keisha takes a long breath, and I can hear her sitting down. Getting ready to tell me something she's been holding on to. I don't know where she is, baby, she finally says. I've been trying to find her for 2 years. I hired investigators. I called everyone I could think of. Nothing. It's like she just disappeared. The words hit me like a physical blow. Zara didn't just betray me. Zara didn't just disappear to hurt me. Zara vanished. She's been gone for 2 years and nobody, Not even my mother knows where she is. And she's about to marry the one man who might be able to find her. Stop. Feel that shift? That moment when you realize nothing is what you thought it was? Amira went from being betrayed to being claimed to suddenly understanding that the person who betrayed her is actually missing. That her mother has been searching for 2 years. That Zara isn't just cruel, Zara is lost. And now Amira is about to marry a man with the power and resources to find her. But here's the thing. Kay doesn't know about the Zara investigation. And Amira doesn't know what she'll do if her sister is actually found. Is she marrying Kay for revenge? Is she marrying him for recognition? Or is she marrying him because on some level, she knows he's the only person who can help her find her sister? The real game isn't love. It's survival. And Amira is about to step into a world where every decision has consequences she doesn't understand yet. Her mother knows it. Marcus knows it. Kay knows it. But Amira? Amira is about to find out that the person who betrayed her and the person she's about to marry might be connected in ways that will destroy everything. 2 weeks until the wedding. 2 weeks until her entire world implodes. Subscribe now, because the next moment will reveal a truth that changes everything. About Zara, about Kay, about why he was watching her all along. Some secrets aren't meant to stay hidden. And some people marry you not because they love you, but because they need you to help them finish something that started long before you even met. Amira is walking into something so much bigger than she understands. And she has no idea what's actually at stake. The house in San Francisco is beautiful in the way that wealth makes things beautiful. It's perched on a hill overlooking the bay, and everything about it screams money and control. The furniture is expensive but uncomfortable. The art on the walls is valuable but cold. This is a home that was designed to impress, not to welcome. I'm standing in the foyer wearing a dress that costs more than my car, and I'm terrified. Kay's hand is on my lower back as we wait for his parents. His touch is possessive but cold. It's not reassuring me. It's claiming me, like he's about to present a trophy he won, and he wants everyone to know he won it. Park Min-ju appears first. She's beautiful in the way Korean mothers are beautiful. Elegant, precise, controlled. Her hair is perfect. Her makeup is flawless. Her expression is the kind of polish that comes from decades of keeping emotions behind a professional mask. Until she sees me, her face goes pale, like she's just seen a ghost. Like I'm something that shouldn't exist. This is Amira, Kay says simply. My fiancé. Park Sung-ho enters behind her, and his reaction is more measured. His face doesn't change much, but his eyes go cold, like he's assessing a threat. They don't hug Kay. They don't welcome me. They just look at us. And then we sit down for dinner. The table is set with expensive place settings and food that looks too perfect to eat. Everyone sits silently for a moment, and the tension is so thick you could cut it with the silver knives they've provided. Park Min-ju is the first to speak. So, she says to me, her accent carrying weight. Where are you from? Seattle, I answer. My voice is steady, but my hands are trembling slightly. No, she says. Where are you really from? There it is. That question. The question that's been asked to people like me our entire lives. The question that says no matter where you're from, you're never from here. My mother is Nigerian American, I say slowly. I'm adopted. There's a pause. Park Min-ju and Park Sung-ho exchange a look. It's quick, but it's loaded. It's a conversation happening between them without words. It's judgment being passed. Adopted. Mignore Peats. She says it like the word is foreign. Like she doesn't understand what it means. Like it's something shameful. My hands grip the napkin in my lap. And then Kay's mother turns to him and speaks in rapid Korean. I don't understand the words, but I understand the tone. It's fury. It's disappointment. It's the sound of a mother who's just realized her son has done something unforgivable. Kay responds, and his voice is cold. Sharp. Like a knife cutting through butter. They go back and forth. Korean words flying like weapons. Rapid. Angry. Both of them leaning forward slightly, neither backing down. Park Sung-ho watches silently. He doesn't defend Kay. He doesn't defend me. He just watches. The argument intensifies. Park Minju's voice gets louder. Kay's gets quieter, which somehow makes it more terrifying. Finally, Park Minju turns to me. "You understand you are not acceptable to our community?" she says in English now, making sure I can understand every word. "Your presence will bring shame to our family." My hands are trembling, but I meet her eyes. And in that moment, I remember something my mother told me when I was 8 years old. "Don't let anyone make you small. Your son chose me," I say quietly. "That's all that matters." Park Minju's laugh is bitter. It echoes through the dining room like a prophecy of something terrible. "My son chose rebellion," she says. "He chose to hurt his family. He chose to prove that he doesn't care what we think. That is not love, Amira. That is destruction." The words hit like a physical blow. Because she's right. And I know she's right. And somewhere deep inside, I've always known she's right. Kay is using me to hurt his family. Or maybe he's using me and hurting his family is just a bonus. Either way, I'm a weapon in a war I didn't start. The drive back to Seattle is silent. Kay drives with one hand on the steering wheel, the other on his lap. He's not looking at me. He's not even acknowledging that the dinner happened. I wait for an apology. I wait for an explanation. I wait for him to tell me that his mother is wrong, that he chose me because he loves me, that I matter to him as more than just a rebellion against his family. He doesn't say any of those things. Instead, he says, "This is part of the deal. Your choosing me means you're also choosing to be excluded from my family." His voice is casual, like he's talking about the weather. I feel something crack inside my chest. I'm trading one prison for another. I left the hotel where I was invisible to my fiancé, only to walk into a penthouse where I'm invisible to the man who's supposed to save me. My mother was right. Marcus was right. Everyone was right. And I walked into this with my eyes wide open because being seen by one person felt better than being invisible to everyone. But what if being seen is just another way of being used? That night, I'm alone in Kay's penthouse. He's at the office. Of course he is. He's avoiding me. He's running from the reality of what he's done. I'm on the couch, staring at nothing, when the envelope slides under the door. It's unmarked. No stamp. No address. Just an envelope that someone left in this supposedly secure building without anyone noticing. I open it with trembling hands. The letter is handwritten. The handwriting is elegant but shaky, the handwriting of someone old. "Dear Amira, I am Aju Park, Kay's grandmother. I am writing to you because you need to know who you're marrying. My grandson is a brilliant man, but he is broken in ways that neither time nor money can fix. His emotional numbness is not a choice. It is not strength. It is damage. And he will use you to try to fix that damage, only to destroy you in the process. I have watched him use people his entire life. Women who thought they could save him. Employees he controlled to feel powerful. Friends he manipulated to prove he didn't need anyone. You are special only because you appeared at exactly the moment he needed you. But here is what you need to know. Your sister is not lost. Not in the way your mother thinks. Your sister is being held. And the man you are about to marry may be the only one who knows where she is. If you want to find her, come to Seoul. Use the number below. Do not tell Kay. Do not trust him with this information. Trust me. Your sister needs you to be smarter than love. Aju Park. Below the letter is a phone number and an address in Seoul. My hands are shaking so badly I can barely hold the paper. Zara is being held. Not missing. Not hiding. Being held. And Kay. The man I just gave my virginity to. The man I just agreed to marry. The man whose mother just told me he's using me for rebellion. Might know exactly where she is. Stop. You feel that, right? That moment when you realize everything you thought you understood was a lie? That moment when you realize the person you trusted might be the same person destroying you? Amira walked into a family dinner thinking it was about acceptance. Instead, it was about exposure. Minju saw right through the fantasy. She saw that Kay was using Amira as a weapon against his own family. And Amira heard it. She knew it. But she'd already given him too much, her body, her choice, her entire future. But then the letter changed everything. Zara isn't missing. She's being held. And Kay might be the one holding her. Or worse, he might know who is. This changes everything. This isn't a love story anymore. This isn't even about revenge. This is about survival. This is about whether Amira will realize she's been manipulated before it's too late. Here's what Amira doesn't know yet. Kay didn't randomly find her at that bar. He was watching her. He wanted her. And he wanted her for a reason that has nothing to do with love and everything to do with Zara. The grandmother's letter isn't a warning. It's a lifeline. And Amira has a choice. Trust the man she just married into her life, or trust a grandmother she's never met who's telling her that her sister's life depends on her being smart. The wedding is in 1 week. And Amira is holding a letter that could change everything. Subscribe now. Because what happens next will shatter every assumption you've made about this story. You think you know who the villain is. You think you know what's happening. But you don't. Not even close. The truth is darker than a betrayal. The truth is darker than a lie. The truth is a conspiracy that reaches into places Amira doesn't even know to look. And one woman is about to decide whether she's going to keep drowning in the darkness with Kay, or whether she's going to grab the lifeline that just found her. I touch my own arm and feel nothing. It's been 3 days since I was inside Amira. 3 days since I felt something real for the first time in my entire life. 3 days since the only sensation that has ever mattered to me started fading like a dream I can't quite hold on to. I'm sitting in my office at 3 a.m., and I'm touching my arm like I'm testing a hypothesis. Pressure. No sensation. Just the acknowledgement that something is making contact with my skin. The numbness is back. It's returning slowly, like a fog rolling in. I can feel it creeping back into the spaces where Amira made me feel something. The places where her touch awakened neurons I thought were dead forever. Panic flares in my chest, but I push it down. Suppress it. Control it. This is what I do. I control things. I control people. I control situations. I control the sensation of my own body not feeling. But I can't control Amira. And that's the problem. Marcus finds me at the club the next night. He walks into my office without knocking, the only person who has that privilege, and his face is serious in a way I've learned to recognize. It's his, "I'm about to tell you something you don't want to hear" face. "What are you doing?" he asks. "No griting. No preamble." "Working," I say without looking up from my laptop. "You're destroying her," Marcus says. "Amira, whatever this is, whatever game you're playing, you're going to destroy her." I finally look at him. My best friend. My only real friend. The one person who's known me long enough to see through my bullshit. "I'm giving her what she wants," I say coldly. "No," Marcus says, and his voice carries disappointment. "You're taking what you want and calling it a gift. You've never been capable of reciprocal love, Kay. You're going to consume her and then throw her away like everything else." The words hit harder than they should. Because Marcus is right. He's always right. I am consuming her. I am taking what I want. And I'm telling myself it's because I'm saving her when really, I'm just trying to use her to fill the void. For a moment, just a moment, I consider what he's saying. I consider whether I should let her go. Whether the kindest thing would be to walk away. But then I think about the way she touches me. The way my body responds to her, and only her. The way the numbness retreats when she's near. And I can't let that go. So I push Marcus's concern away. "You don't understand the situation," I tell him. "I understand exactly what's happening," Marcus says. "You're terrified that you're broken beyond repair, so you're trying to fix yourself through her. And when she can't fix you, and she can't, Kay, no one can, you're going to blame her for failing." He leaves without waiting for a response. The next day, my father finds me at the house. Park Sung-ho is a man who communicates through silence. He's spent my entire life saying more through what he doesn't say than what he does. So when he pulls me aside and actually speaks, I know something is wrong. "I recognize myself in you," he says quietly. "And I regret it." I wait for him to continue. "Your mother," he says. "She's suffered because of the man I became. Because I was cold. Because I didn't know how to feel. Because I used achievement and control as substitutes for actual love." He looks at me with something I've never seen on his face before. Vulnerability. Regret. Don't do the same to Amira, he says. I want to tell him he doesn't understand. I want to tell him that this is different. That Amira and I are different. That I'm not repeating his pattern. But the truth is, I know I'm repeating it exactly. So I dismiss him instead. You don't understand what's happening. That night, I'm in my office when I see it. Amira's face. The exact moment she read the letter from Aju Park. I have cameras everywhere. It's a habit. Knowing everything, seeing everything, controlling everything through observation. So I watched her face change from despair to recognition to something darker. Something that looks like awakening. She knows something now. Something that changes everything. I run facial recognition on the letter. I use every resource I have to figure out what Aju said. What could possibly make Amira look like she's been handed a lifeline instead of a love letter? And then I find it. The connection to Zara. Aju didn't just write to warn her about me. Aju gave her information about Zara. About where Zara is. About how to reach her. My carefully constructed world begins to crumble. Because I've been investigating Zara for 2 years. Ever since Tyler told me about her in passing. Ever since something about the name Okonkwo Kim registered in my brain as important. I started watching Amira because of Zara. Not the other way around. And now the connection is becoming real in ways I didn't anticipate. I pull up everything I have on the situation. Tyler isn't just some mid-level executive. He's connected to a network. A Korean-American crime organization that my father's company has dealings with. A network that deals in information, in leverage, in people. I start connecting dots. Zara didn't just randomly betray Amira. Someone put her up to it. Someone orchestrated the entire thing. Someone wanted Amira broken and vulnerable and desperate enough to make dangerous choices. And I was supposed to find her at that bar. I was supposed to approach her. I was supposed to claim her. But that's where the plan falls apart. Because somewhere between investigating her and meeting her, something changed. Somewhere between watching her from across the club and touching her in the VIP lounge. It stopped being about strategy and started being about something I don't have a name for. The only sensation I've ever felt. The only thing that makes me human. I become obsessed. I research my own numbness like it's a case I need to solve. I hire neurologists. I run tests. I map the pathways of my nervous system trying to understand why Amira creates sensation when no one else does. Is it psychological? Is it neurological? Is there something physically wrong with my sensory processing that makes me numb to everyone except her? I don't have answers. Just more questions and increasing panic. Because the numbness is still coming back. It's creeping in. And I don't know if it's because Amira is losing her power over me, or because I'm losing my mind. So I do what I do. I control. I become more demanding with her. More possessive. I want her near me constantly. I need to feel her touch. I need confirmation that I can still feel. I tell myself it's protection. I tell myself it's love. I tell myself I'm keeping her safe from a world that wants to hurt her. But the truth, the real truth that I can barely admit to myself, is that I'm terrified. Terrified that she'll leave me. Terrified that the numbness will take over completely. Terrified that I'm broken in a way that's beyond repair. And if she leaves, I'll be numb forever. The night Amira receives Aju's letter, I watch her face change. And I know I'm losing her. She's been given a choice. Trust me or trust my grandmother. Stay with me or reach out to Seoul. Accept my version of her future, or grab the lifeline being offered. The panic is so intense that I have to grip the edge of my desk to keep from falling apart. Because for the first time in years, I have something to lose. For the first time, I care about an outcome that I can't control. And the person who can control that outcome is the one person I've already hurt beyond repair. Amira doesn't know that I've been investigating Zara. She doesn't know that the letter from Aju confirms connections I've been trying to deny. She doesn't know that the entire network, the one that orchestrated her sister's betrayal, is somehow connected to me. And she's about to find out. Which means I'm about to lose everything. That moment when the predator becomes the victim. That moment when you realize the person who's been hunting is actually being hunted by something bigger than themselves. K. Sung-min Park. The billionaire, the untouchable man. the predator who's been strategically positioning himself and others for power, just realized he's not in control of the narrative. He was watching Amira because he was supposed to be watching her. Someone else put him up to it. Some larger network orchestrated the entire meeting. And he was too smart to realize he was being used. But that's not the worst part. The worst part is that he actually cares about Amira now. The numbness that's defined his entire life has disappeared with her touch. And she's about to leave him holding the letter from Aju Park. Here's the thing about predators. They have a limited window before someone smarter comes along. And Aju Park is smarter than K. Aju planned further ahead. Aju sacrificed her relationship with her grandson to save a woman she barely knows because she recognized a pattern that's been destroying her family for generations. Kay became addicted to Amira's touch. But Amira is about to become addicted to her freedom. And neither of them can stop what's about to happen. The wedding is in 4 days. Amira has a phone number in Seoul. Kay has a realization that he's not actually in control of his own life. The network that orchestrated Zara's betrayal is the same network that's been watching Kay, testing him, using him, setting him up for something he doesn't understand yet. And Amira, the victim, the broken woman, the person everyone thought was helpless, is about to become the only one who can uncover what's actually happening. Subscribe now. Because here reveal a conspiracy so twisted that it will change everything you thought you knew about this story. It's not about love versus control. It's not about Kay being a predator and Amira being a victim. It's about two people caught in a web bigger than both of them, where the only way to survive is to trust each other instead of the systems that raised them. And they're running out of time to figure that out. The investigator sits across from me at a coffee shop 2 blocks from Zainab's apartment. He's older, tired-looking, the kind of man who's spent his career uncovering things people don't want found. He slides a folder across the table. Your sister has been in contact with members of a Korean-American business organization, he says quietly. The same organization that Tyler Cross is connected to. The same organization that appears to have dealings with your fiancé's company. My hands shake as I open the folder. Photos. Documents. A network diagram showing connections I didn't want to see. Zara isn't just some random woman who betrayed me. Zara is connected to a larger system. A system that wanted me broken. A system that used my sister as a weapon. Someone orchestrated this. I say. It's not a question. Yes, the investigator confirms. The betrayal wasn't random, Ms. Okonkwo. Someone wanted to destroy you specifically. They used your sister to do it. And your fiancé, his company has financial ties to this organization. The coffee in my cup suddenly tastes like poison. I go directly to Kay's office. The evidence folder is clutched in my hand like a weapon. My heart is pounding so hard I can feel it in my throat. He's at his desk, working on his laptop. He doesn't look up when I walk in. Why is my sister involved with people connected to your company? I demand. What do you know? His entire body goes rigid. Slowly he looks up. And I watch his face transform. I watch the moment he realizes I know. The moment he understands that I've been investigating independently. His eyes go dark with rage. You hired an investigator, he says. It's not a question. His voice is ice. I hired someone to find my sister, I say. And I found answers instead. Now I'm asking you. What do you know? Kay stands up slowly. He walks toward me. And for the first time, I feel genuinely afraid of him. I'm protecting you, he says coldly. I'm handling it. Handling it how? I demand. What are you planning? He doesn't answer. He just looks at me with eyes so dark they look like the ocean at night. And in those eyes, I see something that makes my blood run cold. Violence. Destruction. Plans that involve more than just understanding or confrontation. He's planning something that will end in blood. I don't want anyone hurt, I say, and my voice is shaking. I just wanted them to understand what they did to me. Tyler and Zara. I wanted them to understand the pain they caused. Wanting them to understand is naive, Kay says flatly. They need to be destroyed. Completely. Eliminated. Made an example of. The word destroyed hangs in the air between us like a curse. And I realize something in that moment that changes everything. I'm not in love with Kay. I never was. I was in love with being seen. I was in love with the idea that someone finally recognized me. And I was willing to trade my entire future for that recognition. But I'm not willing to trade it for destruction. I can't do this, I say quietly. What? Kay steps toward me. I can't marry you. I won't marry you. And I'm done. Kay's face transforms. The control shatters. The predator becomes prey. You promised, he says, and his voice breaks. You said you'd be mine. I promised because I was broken, I say. And you made me feel wanted. But this. I gesture at him, at the darkness surrounding us, at the entire situation. This isn't love. This is toxicity. This is me enabling someone to become a worse version of themselves. Amira, he reaches for me. But I step back. I'm leaving, I say. And I'm not coming back. I pack a bag in under 5 minutes and leave the penthouse without looking back. Zainab doesn't ask questions. She just opens her apartment door and lets me collapse on her couch. For hours I don't speak. I just sit there, shaking, trying to process what I've done. I've broken an engagement to a billionaire. I've walked away from someone who could help me find my sister. I've chosen my sanity over everything else. It feels like survival and suicide all at once. That night, I call my mother. Dr. Keisha listens to the entire story without interrupting. She listens to how I met Kay, how he touched me, how I gave him my virginity, how his mother told me he was using me for rebellion, how I discovered the conspiracy, how I realized he was planning violence. And when I'm done, she says the words that finally break me open. Sometimes the person who saves you is also the person who destroys you, she says quietly. The question is, are you going to let yourself be destroyed? I cry. For the first time since I left that hotel room, I actually cry. Not because I lost Kay. Not because I lost the wedding. But because I finally chose myself. She's gone.